Dragonverse fans, it is time. We have finally arrived at the first season of Aquatus. Here at the Dragonverse, you all know the motto: familiar powers, unfamiliar heroes. So, as the first season of Aquatus kicks off, I hope you all enjoy. We begin in the murky depths of the ocean below. A school of fish are swimming together. A lone mako shark lurks behind the unsuspecting fish. When it gets close, the fish try and swim away. However, they aren't fast enough as the mako darts forward. It devours many fish until it is satisfied. Suddenly, the water is disturbed and the mako speeds away. We see a young man, Nikias, clash blades with a merman, Aquatus. The blades continue to clash. The weapons are hard water constructs. Aquatus parries Nikias' next strikes, and the young man leaves himself open. The merman uses his tail to send a small whirlpool of water at Nikias, who evades it. Hey! You're surprised by my maneuver? Yes, we're fighting with blades, not water. That is where you're mistaken, young Meropian. When you fight in the sea, everything is at your disposal. The algae, coral, an old barnacle. You seaborn don't fight fair. Or perhaps the Meropians need to expand their tactics. Nikias charges back in, and the battle resumes. As Nikias gets more comfortable with the flow of battle, he charges in again, prompting Aquatus to send another whirlpool at him. Nikias swims around it and lands a punch. He smiles, and so does the merman. You're learning. We Meropians are pretty good at adapting. Then let's see how you handle this. Aquatus darts inside Nikias' defenses and punches him in the gut, then the chin. Then he repairs a larger whirlpool and hurls it at Nikias. Nikias is caught in the whirlpool and begins to spin around. Aquatus hardens water into spikes and tosses them at the young man. His skin is cut several times. However, Nikias begins to adjust to the raging water, and using its momentum, he blasts out of the whirlpool at incredible speed, faster than Aquatus was expecting. Nikias throws his sword at him, which he has to dodge. He tries to block, but it's too late. Nikias hits him with a powerful combo. Aquatus drifts back and remains motionless, before coming to a few moments later. Some blood drips out of his nose. He smiles at Nikias. Very good, Nikias. You are the victor today. You honor me, Aquatus. The honor is mine. You're ready for the tournament. Are you sure? I think I could use more practice. More? The tournament is tomorrow. I didn't want to train today, but you insisted. This is important. It's the... I know. Is there anything I need to work on? Aquatus sighs and thinks. Yeah. Don't get so caught up on fighting like a Meropian. But it's how I was trained. So are most of the fighters. You're trying to win, aren't you? Yes. Then fight like a seaborn. Aquatus smiles and nods, proud of himself. He spots 3 young merfolk swimming out to them. He sighs. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, kid. Nikias looks like he's about to protest, before simply nodding. One of the mermen, with a golden-scaled tail, playfully hits Nikias in the back. Nikias turns to see his friends. The other merman has a starfish attached to his chest, and there's also a young mermaid. Hey, are you done yet? Yes, Goldscale. Yeah! Want to head out to the seaweed forest? To do what? Eat! Likely a couple of fish that got caught. Or we could just simply eat the plants. Nikias sighs. Goldscale, I'm preparing for a big tournament. The one that starts tomorrow. The one we're helping him with. Oh, yeah. At least one of you is thinking about it. I remember too, Nikias. Can always count on you, Coral. The young mermaid smiles. I don't see why you want to participate anyway. You're with us now, and the Seaborn always stick together. Except your people are scattered tribes across the sea. Meanwhile, my people have the strongest civilization in the world. Besides, he wants to participate because it's important to him. Starfin shakes his head at Goldscale. Thanks for checking up on me, but I need to go home. I'll see you guys later. Nikias begins to swim home. Nikias swims to a large shipwrecked ship that sits on the ground. It's covered with barnacles near the bottom. Nikias swims inside where he sees his mother, Septima, as she breaks another piece of rotted wood off of the ship. This ship falls apart more and more each day. Hello, Mother. She turns and smiles at him. She swims over and embraces her son. Welcome home, my son. She looks at him and notices his wounds. You're hurt. I'm fine, Mother. I can heal you. Just need a bit of algae. Nikias smiles. I'm fine, Mother, truly. She looks at him and sighs. Very well. Are you hungry? No. His stomach growls. Maybe a little. She swims through the ship until she finds what used to be the ship's galley. She opens a crate filled with oysters and takes a few out. Swimming back to Nikias, she hands him some. Here, this will delay your hunger until later. Thanks, Mom. Nikias begins eating the oysters. How is your training? Fine. I'm making progress, but I don't know if it's enough. I don't see why you practice so much. The Seaborn don't have many enemies. A warrior trains hardest during times of peace, so he's ready for times of conflict. Septima smiles sadly. Your father will be proud to hear you say that. Nikias smiles. There's a slight commotion elsewhere in the boat. Your brothers are intent on destroying this place. Could you stop them? I'll try. Nikias swims to find his brothers. He finds them resting in the open water above the ship. Give it back, Aeneas. Make me, Damon. The two continue to wrestle. Aeneas holds a barnacle-encrusted spyglass in his right hand. Nikias watches them. Aeneas wins the contest. He holds the spyglass over his head victoriously. Now you never get back your precious treasure. Nikias swipes the spyglass from Aeneas. Hey! Nikias? No fair! Give it back! Make me, Aeneas. Aeneas lunges for his older brother, but Nikias easily avoids him. He bonks his brother on the head with the spyglass. Aeneas holds his head. Ow! Quiet, I barely hit you. Nikias hands the spyglass back to Damon. Here you are, little brother. Thanks, Nikias. You both know better. This old ship is barely holding together. It was Aeneas' fault. Aeneas folds his arms. If Damon managed to beat me, he would have got his prized possession back. Yes, but knowing you went out of your way to bother him. I have no idea what you mean. Nikias hands his brothers an oyster each. Both begin to eat it. Are you ready for tomorrow? Not so loud. You never know if Mom's listening. Oh, right. Sorry. Did you talk to Costas about training me too? I may have forgotten. Nikias, I've been busy. Maybe you can ask him after tomorrow. Aeneas folds his arms and grumbles under his breath. I suppose you forgot to ask the chieftain if he's heading to the surface? Nikias doesn't answer. Figures. Listen, I'm preparing for the biggest tournament of my life. Forgive me if I forget a few things. Damon sighs and begins to swim back inside, followed by Aeneas, who shakes his head at Nikias. Nikias flares his ears at him. Later in the evening, the family is gathered around a table. An assortment of fish, seagrass, and crab are for dinner. As her boys eat, Septima smiles at them. We see a massive, grand underwater city. Bioluminescent flora provides light for the city. The architecture strongly resembles an ancient Greek style, but there's also a bit of overgrowth that adds to the flavor of the buildings. Inside the castle, we see a young man, King Phaedrus, as he sits on his throne. His throne room is decorated lavishly. His mother, Queen Mother Nerissa, swims back and forth. The young king appears to be contemplating something. You look worried, my son. What troubles you? What troubles me? This tournament, Mother. My son, you have nothing to worry about. Everything will be fine. I wish I was as confident as you. Then what is it? Tell me, please. King Phaedrus looks at his mother. This is my first major event since becoming king. I want it to go well. The people have always enjoyed these tournaments. What if tomorrow they don't? You can't worry about that, my son. All we can do is set the stage for the warriors. Then they will do the rest. I must admit there's something else. The ability of kings to communicate with sea life. It hasn't manifested. Queen Mother Nerissa pauses. I see. I'm sure it'll be any day now. It's been years, Mother. Remember what I said about not worrying about what you can't control? You've only recently taken the throne. It'll come. Trust me. I suppose I don't have much choice. General Marcos enters the room. He salutes the King and Queen Mother. King Phaedrus, Queen Mother. General Marcos, welcome. General. Everything is ready for tomorrow. Excellent. Truly, everything. Yes, Queen Mother. Your men have taken every step to make sure my son's life isn't in any danger? Yes, my queen. Good. Perhaps you'll be able to do your job and keep this king alive. The queen turns away from the general. Think on what I've said, my son. I will. Thank you, Mother. Queen Mother Nerissa swims out of the throne room, casting a glare at the general. As Nikias attempts to sleep, he's having trouble resting. He stares at the ceiling. Then he begins to flash back into a memory. Some time ago, a younger Nikias is in a different bedroom, in a nicer home. His father, Janrius, enters the room. Son! Father! Nikias swims over and hugs his muscular father. He hugs his son back. How was your learnings today? Fine. We learned about the Blackened Trench. Ah, the Blackened Trench. A group of my friends went there once, in the dead of night. You did? Were you scared? Oh, yes. You were? Wow, I didn't think anything scared you, Dad. Not much, but there are a few things. Nikias is stunned. It's not so surprising, son. How was the king? Did you have to fight off any assassins? Janrius laughs. The king is doing well, leading our people best as he can. Do you like working for him? Oh, yes. It's a wonderful job. I get to work for the most powerful man in the ocean. Septima calls out to her son. Uh-oh. What did you forget? Me? Nothing. Doesn't seem to be that way. Go on, son. Nikias sighs and goes to find his mother, as his father watches him go. Early the next morning, Nikias quietly leaves his home. He meets up with his friends. All right, my mother doesn't suspect anything. Are you guys ready? Goldscale yawns. Yeah, I just wish it wasn't so early. Starfin smacks him on the back of the head. Ow! Let's go everything again. Okay? Starfin, you'll pretend to be me. Goldscale, you'll come to invite me to hang out all day. Coral, you can do the same. Any questions? Nope. All clear. Good. Costas, are you ready? Ready as I'll ever be. The two prepare to leave. Wait, Nikias? Yeah? I thought you might need some extra protection, so I made this talisman to alter your appearance. Oh, thanks, Coral. She places it around his neck. Make sure it doesn't get knocked off. Okay, will do. Best of luck, guys. Go on, win your tournament. We'll be waiting to hear all about it. Nikias waves bye to his friends and swims off with Costas. Nikias and Costas swim towards Meropis. Costas notices the young man's face. Something on your mind? Well, this is the first time I've been home since... Ah, I see. Part of me feels wrong for coming without Mother, or my brothers. It was your choice to keep this from her. I know. Try and focus on what's to come. You've trained enough. I hope more Seaborn clans will send warriors to compete. I already thought there was a tribe of Seaborn that were warriors. You mean the Lost? They're no longer Seaborn. They're closer to a pack of barracudas. Strong words. I pity what happened to them, but they're one of the biggest threats in the ocean for a reason. The two remained silent for a moment. Well, enough about that. Let's just get to Meropis. Right. The two keep swimming for several hours until at last they reach their destination. Nikias and Costas arrive at the main gate, but are stopped by the guards. Halt! State your business, Seaborn. Oh there, friends. It is I, Costas. I'm here to escort my apprentice to the arena. Your apprentice? He's clearly one of us. Yet the facts remain. The guards look at each other. Fine. Proceed inside. Thank you, most gracious guards. Nikias and Costas are allowed inside. Do the guards always give you issue? Only sometimes. The two swim into the city proper. Nikias looks fondly upon the city as he passes by. The two head for the arena. King Phaedrus overlooks Meropis from his balcony. He quietly contemplates the day. A moment later, a beautiful young Meropian girl enters his space and swims behind him. She bows. Greetings, my king. Phaedrus turns and sees the girl. He smiles. Greetings, my betrothed. The king swims over to her and caresses her face. The two share a brief but passionate kiss. You look wonderful. She spins around in the water with a smile. Why, thank you. So do you. The Queen Mother did a fine job making sure you look your absolute best today. Thank you. What were you doing out here alone? Nothing. Merely thinking about what's to come. He kisses her hand before returning to the balcony with her. Today will be a fine day. Of course it will, beloved. Do you think he will appear? King Phaedrus' face remains neutral as he thinks. I care not. If he shows, I'm sure he'll make it everyone's problem. The girl frowns. This is our creator we're talking about. Would it not be a great honor for him to attend? If he felt so strongly about us, maybe he wouldn't have abandoned us. The girl looks shocked. Is that why he's been silent for nearly a decade? What other reason is there? Perhaps we've angered him and need to appease him. The king shrugs indifferently. I care not. Be mindful of your words, my king. He hears much of what goes on in these waters. Let's not discuss this any further. The girl goes silent as the two hold hands as they look out upon the city. Sometime later, Nikias and Costas arrive at the arena. This is where we part ways. Thanks for everything, Costas. Of course. Remember, fight like a seaborn. Nikias swims until he reaches the area where the rest of the fighters are getting ready. Some are stretching, a few others taking swings of their weapons, and some are quietly soaking in the atmosphere. Nikias is clearly one of the younger competitors. The vast majority are Meropians. There are a few seaborn, as well as an imposing Karkaros. There are rows of weapons for the fighters to choose from. As standard for Meropians, the weapons are made from the bones of sea creatures, sometimes infused with bits of coral, seaweed, or barnacles. Nikias finds a quiet corner to settle down in. The guards silently watch over the room. There's some slight commotion near the entrance as a tall Meropian man and his son arrive. There are some slight murmurs amongst the fighters. Isn't that the last champion? It is. So that must be his son. Great. I heard a rumor he was going to compete. He might be the best fighter here. Gonna try and avoid that matchup if I can. You and me both. The champion clasps his son on the back and swims away. His son keeps forward. He looks among the competition and smirks. A few avert their gaze. Nikias doesn't, prompting the boy to glare at him. Nikias holds his gaze before the boy looks away, as Nikias continues his preparations. Meanwhile, back in Nikias' home, his mother swims to his room. She knocks lightly on the door. Nikias, are you awake? Starfin quickly wakes up and uses magic to disguise himself as Nikias. I am now. There's something I want to talk to you about. Okay. Septima opens the door and swims into the room. Starfin waits expectantly. I know. Starfin's eyes shoot open. Know what? I know what today is. The day of Poseidon's tournament. Oh, yes! I know you probably wanted to go, but I am glad you didn't try. Why is that? Because
Going back to Meropis would still be painful for us. For me. There's no telling who remembers our faces. What would happen if we were discovered? You and your brothers are all I have left. If anything were to happen to you, I don't know what I would do.
But, Mother, I think that someone would be willing to forgive us after all this time.
No, not after what your father did. People don't forget that kind of thing. It hasn't even been a decade. Yeah, I guess you're right. I just didn't want you to be mad at me.
Of course not, Mother. Septimus smiles. Good. Now come eat before your brothers devour everything. Okay. Oh! Goldscale and the others are coming over. Soon. I'll be with them all day. Okay. Just be careful. I will. The crowd begins to arrive and fill the arena, Meropians and Seaborn alike. As the crowd murmurs among themselves, a loud conch shell sounds. The people turn their attention to see King Phaedrus, the Queen Mother, his betrothed, and General Marcos arrive. The crowd erupts with praise for the king. He smiles and waves. The Queen Mother smiles and waves as well. A lovely crowd, full of energy. I think they're more excited to see the fights, Mother. Nonsense. They're just as excited to see you. General Marcos sees another guest approach. He nods and is allowed to approach. King Phaedrus. Yes? This is Giannis, the previous champion. Giannis bows respectfully. Welcome, Giannis. I remember your victory. It was an entertaining bout. You honor me, young king. Queen Mother, you as radiant as ever. Please, I hope you enjoy the tournament today. Your father was an excellent king, and we all miss him.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rise, Giannis. Anyone I should keep my eye on? Giannis smiles. Yes, my king. My son, Marinos, is participating today. He will be the victor. There's no one better trained than him. We shall see. Why don't you bring your wife and watch with us? Thank you, my king. May you reign long and prosperously. King Phaedrus smiles at the warrior. If you'll excuse me, my king, I must go prepare the fighters. General Marcos bows and swims away. The fighters are armed and ready. Nikias is dressed in light, flexible armor. He analyzes his choices for weapons and quickly picks a spear. Marinos takes powerful swings. He wields a well-crafted blade. The soldiers take position at attention as General Marcos drifts into the area. The fighters gather towards the center of the room. Welcome, men, to the tournament of Poseidon. You each have the honor of competing today. Fight well. The king watches, and the victor will be well rewarded. There is only one rule. These fights are for sport. There will be no executions. Anyone who breaks this rule shall not live to see the day's end. To determine our matchups, each of you will select numbered seashells. The highest seed will face the lower seed until there is a victor. The guards present a bowl full of shells to the competitors. Each one begins to pick one. Good luck, men. May Poseidon favor the victor. General Marcos leaves. Nikias picks the number 14. The guards take note of everyone's number, and the matchups are set. Nikias' nerves begin to rise as the tournament is set to begin. The crowd is settled and the opening ceremonies are finished. The first bout is about to begin. King Phaedrus watches with the rest of his entourage. Nikias and the other fighters have a view of the arena and eagerly wait for the first battle to begin. The first battle doesn't disappoint as two young Meropian warriors battle it out. The battle has its ebbs and flows, and the higher-ranked fighter manages to win. The next few battles range from tight contests to easy wins. Marinos is among those with an easy win. Eventually, it's Nikias' turn. As he swims into the ring, his opponent is the large muscular Karkaros, a shark-like humanoid. He roars into the water as he swims into the ring. I hope we have a good fight. What's your name?
Name's Crunk, and I'm gonna destroy you, Meropian.
The conch shell blows and the battle begins. The shark man charges Nikias with an axe. Nikias dodges a powerful swing. He kicks Crunk in the nose, sending him hurtling back. Crunk swims back in. Nikias blocks his swing with his spear. Much to Crunk's surprise, Nikias can withstand the force of his blow. The two trade parries and riposts. Crunk swings at Nikias, who dodges and punches him into the sand. Crunk recovers and begins to swim around Nikias. Sand rises, obscuring Nikias' vision. Only Crunk's fin is visible. This isn't a problem for Nikias, who anticipates the head-on charge. He stops Crunk's momentum with one hand. The shark man is stunned. Nikias twirls his spear before smacking him across the face with the shaft several times. Crunk is good and stunned. Nikias follows it up with a series of body blows, followed by an uppercut. Nikias finishes the combo with an overhead kick. Crunk drifts back, unconscious. The crowd cheers. Nikias bows before swimming back to the waiting area. Some of the warriors give him nods of respect. General Marcos watches him swim away. Something about the boy's fighting style is familiar. The rest of the fights continue on until the first round is finished. After a brief intermission, the second round begins. Nikias watches as the rest of the Seaborn warriors are eliminated in their matches. Fight like a Seaborn, great idea. With half of the remaining competitors left, it doesn't take long for Nikias' second battle to begin. As Nikias swims to the ring, his opponent is another Meropian. Nikias remembers the other guards speaking to him prior to the match. His name is Nikias, and he's one of the best fighters in the Meropian Royal Guard. As Nikias swims into the ring, the crowd cheers for him. He bows to everyone, especially the king. Nikias gets little fanfare, mostly from Costas. King Phaedrus acknowledges Nikias with an approving nod. Nikias picks up his blade and shield and faces Nikias. Nikias readies his spear. A moment passes, and the conch shell sounds. Both rush each other and clash. The battle is evenly matched to start. Neither one can get an opening. Every time Nikias goes for a strike, Nikias blocks it with his shield. Nikias' next attack is parried, and he's punched in the chin. Nikias recovers quickly, blocking the next sword strike. Nikias sees an opening, but his attack is blocked once more. That shield is getting annoying. So long as he's got it, I can't land a hit. Nikias analyzes the situation. Nikias is taller with slightly bigger muscles. Nikias' light armor and spear give him the speed advantage, but his defensive abilities are superb. His father's words begin to echo in his mind. If you're fighting an opponent with a shield, you want to disarm him. There are several ways to do it. My preferred method is the Barracuda Blitz. Alright, father. Here it goes. Nikias attacks head-on, pushing Nikias back. Nikias holds well enough, but Nikias is stronger. Nikias raises his spear for an overhead thrust, and Nikias moves to block. Just what he wanted. Nikias misses and stabs the spear into the ground, confusing his opponent, which leaves him open. Nikias uppercuts him. Nikias begins to swim at a high speed, punching and kicking Nikias. General Marcos looks surprised. The final punch is blocked as Nikias gets his shield up at the last second. The sound resonates through the water. However, Nikias manages to dent the shield. Nikias grits his teeth and smacks Nikias across the face with the shield. He swims forward and lands a few strikes on him. He kicks him in the gut, nearly sending him out of the arena. Nikias crashes into the ground, nearly unconscious. His father's words come to him again. If somehow that doesn't work, try the swordfish surprise. Nikias opens his eyes and picks himself up out of the ground. He looks focused. Nikias readies himself. Nikias speeds forward and grabs his spear. He charges right at him. Nikias looks for him to let up, but the boy doesn't. He blocks the attack, but Nikias stabs through the shield. With a quick motion, Nikias disarms Nikias of the shield as Nikias gasps. He's punched hard and sent crashing into the wall. He slumps over, unconscious. The crowd is in stunned silence. Costas begins the cheers. Nikias bows as he swims over to Thenius. Hey, are you okay? Thenius is still out. A few guards swim over and begin to help him out of the wall. Some cast disparaging looks at the boy. Nikias swims back to the waiting area. The remaining fighters congratulate him. Except for one. That move wouldn't have worked on me. Too easy to read. Marinos floats in Nikias' way. Then why didn't he stop it? Because he wasn't as good a fighter as he thought. I disagree. He was very skilled. I just outsmarted him. Pitiful. The boy gives him a smug grin as Nikias swims off. King Phaedrus watches as Thenius is finally awoken. His fellow guards help him out of the arena. I didn't expect one of our best fighters to lose. Neither did I, but it was an entertaining battle. You're right. It was. Suddenly, King Phaedrus smiles wildly and cheers very loudly. The Queen Mother is shocked by his outburst. Phaedrus, calm yourself. What? Everyone else is cheering? Why can't I? You can, but be more reserved, my son. If I may, Queen Mother, I rather liked it. King Phaedrus smiles at her. The Queen Mother isn't impressed. The king looks at the general, who's lost in thought. Well, General, anyone surprised you so far? Yes, the boy who just defeated Thenius. I agree. That strategy of his was impressive, especially those maneuvers. A guard with Thenius' skill should have been able to avoid it. I don't recognize it from the tactical guide. Have you seen it elsewhere? Yes, from an old friend. The general doesn't elaborate further, and the king doesn't press the issue. The battles continue. The rest of the battles are rather close, with the exception of Marinos, who once again dominates his opponent. Giannis and his wife are pleased with their son's efforts. He salutes the king before swimming back below to the other fighters. Only a few are left. He spots Nikias and gives him another smug grin. After a final intermission, the semifinal matchups are set. Nikias prepares himself. Marinos swims over to him. It seems we're battling first. So we are. You may as well give up. I'm going to win. What makes you so sure? Because you showed up with the Seaborn. All of their warriors, if you could call them that, were eliminated early. I don't know how you managed to last this long, but I'm going to dominate you and go on to win. My first opponent said the same. And don't overlook the Seaborn. My trainer would defeat you in a fight. Marinos laughs loudly. Sure he could. We both know the Seaborn lack discipline. Nikias feels his anger rising. It's their time to enter the ring. As they both arrive, the crowd cheers once more. Giannis smiles. Go, Marinos! The crowd begins to cheer for Marinos, though a few cheer for Nikias. General Marcos focuses on Nikias. Nikias readies his spear. Marinos readies his sword, the same smug grin on his face. Nikias looks at Costas, who simply nods at him. The anticipation continues to build, until finally, Nikias explodes towards Marinos, ready to duel. Hey there, Dragonverse fans. Big Green Dragon here. I hope you all enjoyed what you just listened to, as Aquatus Season 1 is officially underway. We have plenty more in store, so stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And until then, take care. Dragon out.